and welcome to another installment of Liberty Nation's Swamponomics videocast. I'm Andrew Moran, Ellen's economics correspondent. Each week, I dive into the moors of top economic news stories and fish out compelling narratives, or I retrieve fallacies that have been accepted as conventional wisdom by the swamp creatures for years. This week, El Salvador and currency competition. El Salvador recently became the first nation in the world to formally introduce Bitcoin as legal tender after a majority of lawmakers approved President Nayib Bukel's proposal. Bukele, who has been dubbed as a millennial president, has been at the helm of the Bitcoin bulls in South America. He has outlined the various advantages of using Bitcoin, including helping citizens who live abroad to send remittances back home. Before the key vote in the Congress, Bukele said in a tweet, quote, "It will bring financial inclusion, investment, tourism, innovation, and economic development for our country. The government will guarantee the convertibility to the exact value in dollars at the moment of each transaction." Indeed, the United States dollar, which became the country's primary currency about 20 years ago, will still be classified as legal tender. At the same time, Bitcoin will officially become legal tender sometime in September. Critics warned that the decision could negatively impact negotiations with the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, as the South American country is looking to borrow more than $1 billion to support the national economy. But could this move generate more economic growth than holding out their hands to the International Monetary Fund? Overall, whatever your opinion of the cryptocurrency is, this could be a boon for advocates of market competition in currencies. In a market-based currency system, no longer will consumers be forced to depend on a fiat currency subjected to the whims of a few monetary policy makers. Instead, the currency will heed to what the market wants and demands. This has been a debate going back to the 1970s when two of the most influential free market economists discussed the matter, Friedrich Hayek and Milton Friedman. Hayek was of the opinion that issuers of a currency would be required by market forces to provide consumers with a constant, valuable, and long-term viable form of money. In 1975, Hayek told a conference in Switzerland, quote, "But why should we not let people choose freely what money they want to use? By people, I mean the individuals who ought to have the right to decide whether they want to buy or sell francs, pounds, dollars, Deutschmarks, or ounces of gold. I have no objection to governments issuing money, but I believe their claim to a monopoly, or their power to limit the kinds of money in which contracts may be included within their territory, or to determine the rates at which monies can be exchanged, to be wholly harmful." Friedman argued that competing currencies would be too precarious and unpredictable, adding that central banks are tasked with maintaining stable currencies with strong purchasing power. He often cited the Swiss franc as an example of a strong and sound currency. Beginning in the 1990s, Friedman had incrementally shifted his position on the denationalization of money. But what would free market money even look like at this point? Perhaps something like the initial coin offering market, or the ICO, where there are thousands of options for the public to choose from. Despite the plethora of options in the crypto market, only a handful stand tall, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, so you don't have to worry about other currencies that are worthless. Of course, the most likely scenario in a market-based currency system would be some hybrid between gold and crypto, since consumers want sound money, but also adaptable to today's tech economy. But much like Somalia and its 6 competing currencies in the early 1990s, El Salvador could be an interesting case study for a classroom studying economics and money. Will consumers turn to the greenback, or will there be a migration toward Bitcoin? Perhaps there will be a generational divide, with the dollar winning the battle, but Bitcoin winning the war. Maybe the next country will make gold and silver legal tender in due time. That's it for me this week. Please read my full Swamponomics column, where I discuss the Federal Reserve's $8 trillion balance sheet, the US government's $2 trillion federal deficit, and Cuba firing a shot in the de-dollarization campaign. Thank you.
Who are we? We are Americans that believe in liberty. We are a project of the nonprofit One Generation Away. We are patriots who apply the founding principles to the issues of today.
And they keep moving the goalposts on us.
We are educators and commentators who love America and the Constitution. Who are we? We are Liberty Nation.